You're back for another update. Let's take a look at CASPER over here. And with CASPER, we've been within Wyckoff accumulation for over 660 days. We have our selling climax over here. This is when all of the retail sell their bags. You then have an automatic rally, secondary test, failed break, secondary test in phase B, and then the second move to the top of the range would be considered your second bull trap. This wouldn't be the ideal time to be in the market, and the reason for that is because once you have this second failed break, you're going to enter into what's called the creek phase. So this over here is considered your creek phase right over here. And usually with the creek phase, you tend to form descending channels or descending broadening wedges, falling wedges. And in this case, we have a descending broadening wedge, and this chart is the 3-day time frame, so every candle represents 3 days. So just think about how painful it is to be a CASPER investor within this region over here. Very, very painful. And then you have a lot of emotions running high. They don't know if they should sell their bag, if they should keep their bag, because with every advance, right, we get rejected. So you have people saying, okay, we're going to the moon over here, and then people over here saying we're gonna go to Doomtown, right? We're gonna go to hell. So with every time we reached support, you have people panic. You have retail panic every time we reach resistance. You have retail screaming that we're gonna go to new highs. So the reason I label this as the no panic zone is the reason I label this as the no panic zone is simply because after this creek phase, what you're going to see is a move down to demand zone. Okay, so you're going to see a move down to demand, right? This over here would be your spring, right? And then you're going to have a pop up. So this would be your initial advance. And then you're going to have a throwback for your test. And then what you're going to see from here is a jump across the creek. So you're going to see this is your jump across. Okay, so this whole move over here is the creek. Then you're going to have the spring. You're going to have a nice pop up. People are going to start talking about CASPER again over here. Then they're going to be bad mouthing CASPER. They're going to be selling their bags over here. Composite operators just going to buy up all that fear for the anticipation of us going into phase D and E with this jump across the creek. Okay, so basically what you would want to be doing is looking to DCA into CASPER from this point going forward. So from here to here. Okay, before we have this jump across. Now you're definitely not going to want to be buying into CASPER all in one shot. You're going to want to be DCAing slowly. You're laddering in. You're going to have that pop up, and then wait for that test. This is where you enter in more. This is where you enter into more of your position. Ladder more into the position for the anticipation of that jump across into your sign of strength. Then you're likely, what you're going to see here is your backup phase. So you're going to see your backup, right? And then you're going to see a continuation of the trend. Just like this. Okay, so this over here would be your sign of strength. Then you have your backup, and then your continuation. And I found these fibs by taking a fib from the top of the range here down to the bottom of the range, but it's likely that we're going to have a spring here into the no panic zone, so these targets are subject to change, and it would just make the targets higher if anything. Now, I am on the CoinTrader Pro chart, and the reason for that is simply because on TradingView it doesn't have much history. So we're going to go on the CoinTrader Pro chart. We're going to take a fib from this high down to this very low. And even if this was a dead coin, right? Let's say this coin didn't perform well, or it just ended up being it just didn't end up going past its all-time high. I think the 50% would be an ideal target. And the reason for that is because it would be the definition of a dead cat bounce. So with a dead cat bounce, you're going to see a move down, right? You're going to see accumulation at the lows, and then a move up to the 50%. This is when all of the retail investors say we're going to go to new highs, it's going to go higher, and then they see it start to turn, right? And then we continue down. So even if this was a dead coin, I think the 50% would be an ideal target here, right around the 3.618, measured from this high down to this low, or the 4.236 region. But we'll definitely alter these targets as the price develops, but it shouldn't be too different from what we see over here. So basically what you're going to want to do is form zones over here. You're going to form zones. So this way, instead of saying, okay, if price gets to that one target, I'm going to sell, instead you're more safe, because once the price gets to a zone, right, you can start laddering out rather than one specific target. Okay, so, and when this bottom does come in, these targets will be more accurate. And I will be updating this in the Discord. So if you haven't joined the Discord, please do click the link in the description above. So this is CASPER over here. From the lows, we would be seeing a, even if it just went to the 23.6, we would be seeing a 400% gain. It would likely go to the 38.2% fib, which would be over a 10x. Okay, so I do think CASPER is set to do a 10x in 2024. Right now, it's just grinding out its spring phase in Wyckoff accumulation. Okay, so remember, whenever you have a range, all of these movements over here are not random. Okay, just remember that. This is 660 days of accumulation, not distribution. Remember, you don't have distribution at the lows. You have distribution at the highs. When you see a range like this at the lows, that's pure accumulation. Right now we're in the creek phase. Don't be surprised if it comes down here into the no panic zone for our spring, pop up for your initial advance, test, and then your jump across, sign of strength, throw back, continuation. Hope you guys enjoyed the CASPER video. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Peace out and take it easy. See you in the next one.